From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service and all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
Oh, Kimberly, we don't hear you.
We appear to be having some technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties? Kimberly, did you mute your mic? You're not coming through.
I don't think so.
There we go.
We got her.
Hey.
Okay.
All the way from South Carolina.
Start it over.
Start it over. All right.
Start it over.
Ready?
All right, here we go.
Start over the little. There we go.
Start it over.
It's quality service and all we do. Call Taylor.
500 help.
That audio is a great thing. Taylor 500 help. Call Taylor Heating and Plumbing for all your home heating and air conditioning needs. Taylor has a wonderful staff of repairmen and women who can make sure that you are up to snuff on everything in your house. They can install any type of furnaces, including propane and natural gas. Schedule an appointment to make sure your furnace and air conditioning are running correctly. Taylor 500 help. Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster, providing Rochester and surrounding areas professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. All of your favorite brands of power tools there. They've got the Toro, they've got new models, they've got in-stock models, they've got snow blowers. You're going to need the snow blowers. They've got lawn mowers. They have chainsaws. Everything you need. Talk to Kimberly and Justin at Precision Lawn and Garden right up there in Webster. Revere Realty. That's us. 467-1776. Let's find you the home of your dreams, shall we? I know a lot of people have been calling us in the last couple of days. They're saying, Kimberly, can you guys give us an estimate on how much you think we can sell our house for? Do you think we'll have enough money and credit to buy this other house? And here's the thing. You don't know until you call us. And call Tom. You can call Lynn. You can call Patty Bardine, 467-1776. Are we the largest real estate agency in Rochester? No. But we will give you one-on-one professional help. When you call one of us, you'll actually get one of us, instead of calling a big name from one of those other agencies and you never see hide nor hair of them. You know what I'm talking about. So call Revere Realty for that specialized help that you need at 467-1776. Revere Realty, the big sponsor of course, Kimberly's Revolution. And let's get on with the show.
Here's winter. Live from the We the People broadcast studio in snowy 27-degree Irondequoit, New York.
I'm sorry.
Here she is.
Hello.
She's living amongst the ruins. It's Kimberly Ray.
Today's name of the show is Seemed a Little Stupid.
Like the open.
Which we are. Seemed a little stupid, which was kind of the open when I guess when I was adjusting my mic, I hit this little button on the underneath side right there.
Sure. Kimberly, what's the number one rule of radio podcasting?
You would think I would know the number one rule in radio is to know how to turn off your mic, and more importantly, before you utter the F word, turn off your mic. That's the
turning on and turning off your mic.
Great. Radio 101, Tom.
Radio
you never even went to broadcasting school, yet here you are, and you know the rules better than I do. Hi, Tom. Yes, I'm Kimberly, Kimberly's Revolution. We are back after, I don't know, a week or two off, I think.
We didn't even talk about the Chiefs' big win. So exciting for you.
Oh, my goodness. I can't even tell you. So, yeah. So we're back. Tom is, of course, joining us. He is the quote unquote lovable goof.
Supposedly I'm a bit of a goof.
And we'll get to that in just a second. And of course, the producer that we could never do without, our guy who is always there for us when we need him. There's Austin. And there he is.
Hello.
There's Austin.
Can we call him a guy? I don't know if that's politically correct to do.
He's
that.
our guy.
I identify as a guy. It's fine.
I'm not gonna. If he's got a pronoun, he can fuck that. I'm not doing pronouns. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put it out there right now. I don't do pronouns. I will address you as such. I saw a mailman today, and I didn't really know if it was a male person. And someone said, "Oh yeah, that's a she," and I'm like, Okay.
Whatever.
Who am I to judge?
You'll look
Let
in
me
the
just.
mail.
So, welcome to Kimberly's Revolution. Please support our advertisers. They support us. We would not be able to do this show without our advertisers, Taylor Heating and Cooling, and of course, Precision Lawn and Garden, and Revere Realty. And I know all of a sudden we're getting all these phone calls today. I'm like texting you. I'm asking you questions. Blah blah blah. I am here in South Carolina, but we can still take care of all your real estate needs. So, no big deal.
can.
I just want to tell you that it's hold on. 81 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. 81 degrees and not a cloud in the sky here in South Carolina. We are living the good life. And so I'm pretty excited about, but tomorrow it's supposed to be 85. I don't even know. And obviously that's not like a regular thing, the 80s, for this time of year. Where are you going? Why are you in and out? What's going on with you?
Something with this damn camera.
You're going to have to probably move cameras, I'm
We're
thinking.
having more technical difficulties.
So I want to say hi to Karen, who is listening.
Hi,
so
Karen.
happy to have you back. The Hillbilly Hermit. I have no idea who that is. Hi, Hillbilly. And Carol says, hey, hey, hey. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey,
so
wait a
good.
minute. I could see the comments.
You can see the comments, but we can't
Austin
see you,
said,
Dodo.
I guess the Restream and some other program that runs this show. Hey, there we go.
There you go.
We're
Okay.
updated.
I'm so glad you're back. All right.
So now I can see the comments where I couldn't before.
Okay. So just a little bit of business before we get into anything. I have posted on my Facebook page. It's also on my Twitter at Kimberly R Radio, on Twitter. You can see the 5th and final article of the series from Mr. Charles Drake, who is a journalist with UncoverDC.com. UncoverDC.com is the name of the website.
Yep.
And he did a 5-part series on me. I have no idea why. And for the longest time, I really told him, you hear my dogs barking? Yeah. He'd asked me a couple of times and I said, no, I don't really want to do any kind of an interview, a sit down. There's really nothing to say. It's all been said. Right. And so I moved down here and he reached out again and I said, okay, well, it sounds like a good idea. So this was back in September. And I think the first of the articles didn't start coming out until when? The end of January, Tom?
5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
There was 5 of them and they were once a week.
Yeah. So uncoverdc.com. If you just go up at the top and click in search on the website and type my name, Kimberly, you can find all the, he did a very good job. I think he structured it very well. There's the last one. That is a cartoon pic of an actual one of the other pictures on one of the other articles he did.
With your schoolgirl outfit on.
That's my schoolgirl. Yeah. So there. Yeah. So that's the 5th episode, and I thought he did a great job. What was the name of that episode, Tom?
Life Among the Ruins.
Well, I don't really know about ruins per se.
You seem to be doing all right to me.
I'm putting it back together a little bit. Aaron from Gorham is the Hillbilly Hermit. We met Rodney at the Adam Chase fundraiser. Yes, I do remember you, Aaron. Absolutely. Someone was asking me about that the other day. Someone was asking me about the Rose Chase case because I think her mother last week, someone reached out to me on Facebook and said Rose Chase was via live stream in the Ontario County courtroom because the mother of Rose Chase was trying to get full custody of the son that Rose Chase and Adam Chase had together before Rose Chase killed him, and then let his body basically disintegrate in the basement of their home there in Ontario County, and then put parts of him in the back of her SUV with the 4-year-old also in the back of the SUV, and took it over to the mother's to put in a burn pit. So
there's a whole podcast on that, right?
There is a whole
podcast on that, so they can search that.
Yeah, and we had Rodney come in. He was the investigator, the private investigator that was hired by Adam Chase's family, the same family that came out and talked to me at the the wine fest, the Naples Grape Fest there. And so, yeah, that's a whole podcast. If you don't know the Rose Chase story, you have to look it up. But someone said, hey, Kimberly, it's so funny. People still remember this stuff. Hey, Kimberly, Rose Chase's mom was trying to get full custody of the kid. The kid is now like 15 or 16. And I don't think is doing very well. I mean, if you can imagine what he's been through. Dad's dead. Mom's never going to get out of prison. So it's a whole terrible story. But yeah, so this Mr. Drake, I thought did. Hold on a second. These dogs. Hold on.
Go beat those dogs. There. Oh,
Sorry, dogs barking.
you didn't make the noise this time.
What's that?
You didn't make the beating sound noise.
I didn't make the beating. Now they're all in here. Oh my goodness. I thought I'd shut the door and it would shut them up, but
make the sound.
No such luck. I'll beat you.
We should
I'll
get
beat you.
We should
You
get
know,
a flop of that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Life among the ruins. Listen, I'm gonna make it a little announcement here, and you don't know this.
Uh-oh.
You don't know this, but
I don't really know anything.
You don't know anything. I am actually back in radio.
You are.
Big announcement. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Exciting.
I probably should have talked to you before I just blurted it out, but that's all I wanted to say. I'm not really going to expound on that per se, but I will tell you that
All right.
I'm back in radio here in South Carolina.
How did you get this show? How does it work?
You need to be my partner, but no, seriously. So yeah, is it a life? You know, it certainly seemed ruined.
Is
but
it a Christian station? What is this?
It is not a Christian station. It is a country station.
Shocking.
Here somewhere in South Carolina, and that's all I'm going to say. No one needs to know for what company. No one needs to know what the call letters are. Nobody needs to know whatever. All I can tell you is I was hired, and the people that hired me believed that no life should be among the ruins, and that kind of the same really mindset that you had, which was, how long are you going to be without a job? How long should someone be without a job? And it shouldn't be forever. So I will tell you that I am back in radio, and that's it. It's really not that exciting.
Talk show? Are you spinning records? What are you doing? Are you the promo girl in the bikini standing out in the road?
God forbid. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see. Although I've done that. I think you've seen the picture, right?
Yeah.
You know, I haven't. But yeah, so that's so yeah, seemed a little stupid, which is the name of the show, for me to reach out. But I did, and when I reached out, they said, "Come and talk." I came and talked to them. I came by
yourself.
I talked to the people, and the people said,
"You
please
talked
come."
to the people.
I talked to the people, and the people said, "We don't care what has happened in the past.
Aw.
Don't do it again." Which I said,
how long will it take before you do?
I don't make any guarantees. That's what I told the other guy when he hired me at iHeart. I make no guarantees. I'm going to do my best every single day.
Is this daily? Is this nightly? Or when is this?
Anyway.
Oh, come on.
You and I will talk later, but all I'm going to say is
Google's just going to know everything, Kimberly. The Google's is going to know.
Google's not going to know.
The Google's isn't going to know?
Google's not going to know. Maybe I'm under a different name, but the past is the past, Striker. Yeah.
17 people listen to this station in the middle of the mountains.
Two people listen to the station in the middle of the mountains. Yeah. No, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this show with you, because it's kind of taken off in kind of a weird way. Well,
apparently it's a cult interest podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's how.
By one of Western New York's greats.
Yeah. So Charles Drake, who's a journalist for Uncover DC, did the 5 articles. They're all at uncoverdc.com. I thought he did a fantastic job. He interviewed you and Chad, and you actually did a sit down with him, right?
I did.
Mhm.
Apparently, when I speak, this might become a shock to a lot of people, but when I write, I actually write in correct English grammar
Yeah.
in sentences. But apparently, when I talk, it does not come out in correct English.
You think?
So
That's okay. That's why we
well,
love
because
you.
of that, a lot of those quotes that were in the story were a little wordy and they were a little weird.
You're a little wordy and a little weird.
Apparently.
All right. So it's par for course. I was hoping Christian station, Kimberly, with your neighbors. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's Ash Wednesday. They've been going in and out of the house. They've had a preacher over there. I don't know what's going on, guys. Anyway, Ash Wednesday, it's also National Margarita Day, in case they go hand in hand, right? You go to the church, you get your margarita from the preacher.
I'll drink to
Oh,
that.
wait, it's a completely different scenario. All right.
Now,
So anyway,
Kimberlina,
so that's the news.
Kimberlina, would Ward Cleaver have a blue light on his podcast? Come on. He compared me to Ward Cleaver.
Well, you kind of are Ward Cleaverish. You hate confrontation, but I thought he did a great job.
Actually, Ward Cleaver was a mentor of mine. I watched that show continuously, Leave It to Beaver.
So
I didn't watch My Three Sons very much though, so the whole Fred McMurray thing, I don't really have any memories for that. But Hugh Beaumont was definitely a role model of mine.
Yeah. So you can check that out. And I will just tell you that the radio station job that I currently have will not interfere with me doing this job right here, the podcast.
So it's not afternoons.
That's all I'm going to say. And
do you have to drive to a station or do you do it out of your house?
Anyway, here I am. I am doing commercial radio again, something that people said I would never do again. And I'm not going to say screw you to all the haters. I'm just grateful for the chance. That's all. That's all.
And that's it. And we're all grateful as well.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Miss
Thank
Kimberly.
you very much. Couldn't have done it without you, Tom, pulling me back into a podcast. Making me do a podcast.
You pulled yourself up from your own bootstraps.
I don't have any bootstraps. Anyway, let me ask you a question. Do you think if you asked Lori to marry you again, she would say yes?
I'm 100% convinced of that.
Seriously?
100%.
And I know Austin's not married yet, but you're engaged, right?
No, I'm not engaged.
I thought you were engaged.
Austin, do we have news?
Whoa. Hey, now, where's that coming from?
I thought you were engaged. You're not engaged?
I'm in a relationship, but we're like 8 months in. That's not engaged yet.
What's taking you so long? What's the matter? Don't you like her?
I do, teasing. But that's I'm
teasing.
Breaks.
Survey shows that women that were asked 27 to 62, would you marry the same guy again? And women said no.
No. Come on.
No, they wouldn't. I thought that was kind of cute. And I know you guys have been married a long time. Hey, there's Jose Pio. Jose Pio chiming in on the big show of Kimberly's Revolution, which is on after this show today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we like Jose Pio.
Correcting.
Well, I'd like to know what Jose Pio thinks of the video that made the rounds last week in Rochester, to which some people took me to task because they said, Kimberly, Spencerport isn't Rochester. And I'm like, fuck you all. It's the same thing. All right. That's all I'm going to say. You know it. I know it. We all know it. We know that Spencerport is Rochester. We know it's Rochester surrounding areas. So fuck everyone on my Twitter that said, Kimberly, you always want to hate on the city, but it's not really the city. It's a farm. Shut up. I know where Spencerport is. All right. I know where it is. I've driven past the school a zillion times out in Spencerport. I know exactly where it is. I know exactly what it's all about, but it's Rochester surrounding areas. No one in the rest of the United States of America has any idea about whatever middle school this was where this fight took place. And by the way, I'm going to show you the video in just a second. Nobody in like BFE, Missouri, or Boston, Massachusetts knows where Spencerport, New York is. But by God, they probably know where Rochester is. So you know what? I narrow it down for people so they can get an idea in their head what part of New York we're talking about, right? We're not talking about New York City. We're talking about upstate New York. Let's show this video. Yeah, I'd run too, kid. I'd run too, because that boy is a head taller than that little boy. That was a 14 or 15-year-old kid that picked up the other little boy and dumped him, right?
It was like a 9th grader and a 5th grader or something like that.
And
that escalated kind of quickly.
Those evil people, and this goes on all the time. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the standing around and laughing and videotaping. I mean, I'm grateful that someone videotaped it. Yes. Could anybody have intervened at all? What happened to that intervening? What happened to kids intervening when something like this was going on between clearly a major, body size difference, right? This is a big kid picking on a little kid. I don't know if I don't know who was picking on who, but you could hear the little boy say, "It wasn't me, it was someone else," right? You could hear that in the video. You saw the video last week, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I posted that. A guy who originally posted that video is a big guy on Twitter. His name's Andy No. And he tweets a lot of stuff out of Portland.
Yeah, it's all Antifa stuff.
All Antifa stuff. I mean, this guy is like, he's got thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers. And he tweeted this, and I follow him, and I saw it. And so I said, "Hey, this is Rochester." And people came out of the woodwork. It's not Rochester, Kimberly. It's blah, blah, blah. It's Spencerport. It's a farming community. Shut up. It's Rochester.
It's not a farming community once they build an expressway.
Yeah. So someone said it's a farming community. I'm like, I'm sorry. When's the last time you saw a freaking cow in Spencerport?
I may never have told you this story. I did an appraisal once back in the day in Spencerport for the previous superintendent of schools. He was retiring and he sold his house, and I don't remember his name. That's not part of the story. And I was talking to him about schools, and because that's a big part of real estate is school districts and migration of people. And I asked him point blank, I said, "So what's the big success for Spencerport?" Because it was a school district that was very poor and it was not performing very well.
Wait
and
for
now,
it. I know. Oof.
Now Spencerport's in the top 10, I think, in this area and school district wise. And he said, well, simply, he says they built a road. And when they build a road, college educated people who have a priority of education, they move out to this area and start families. And then these people that have education as a priority result in better kids. So he said it's not that the school district did anything different. It's that they built a road which brought better students to them.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And so, yeah, Linda says, "I'm a substitute lunch monitor in Spencerport. I went back to work there after I retired. Did not know the kid personally." There's so many kids. I mean, but the fact of the matter is, are there people, teachers, administrators standing outside when the kids go to the bus? Because this was outside going to the bus.
Yeah.
Let's watch it again.
Don't they just usually get them out the door and on the bus?
The other dude, he said. The other dude. The little one. Okay. So here's what I want to tell you. When you throw down a little boy like that and his head hits the concrete, this kid is lucky that he didn't smash his head on the concrete, because if he would have landed wrong, we'd be talking about a whole different situation. I do think the family filed charges, and they probably should have. You could hear the little boy saying it was the other dude. It wasn't me. It was the other dude. Nobody's helping the kid. Those little rat bastards are standing there with their cell phones laughing. What has become
why are they
of our
taping it?
society?
Like they knew something was coming to be taping it, right?
They did. And by the way, if I knew that my child had stood there and laughed, there'd be a big conversation going on at home. And believe you me,
do it again, Kimberly.
I'll beat you. I'll beat you.
Is that what happened?
Yes. I first off, I'd be so disappointed that I raised such a soulless child, right? Such a soulless, uncaring child that could stand there and laugh while a 15-year-old picked on a 5th grader. Now, if they were brothers in the house, that kind of thing goes on all the time. You body slam your brother, whatever. This is not that, guys. Don't make the mistake. This is not that. This isn't picking on your little brother at home. This is picking up a kid and throwing him down on the concrete. I have known men get punched in the head, fall and die before they hit the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Happened in Rochester not that long ago. Dan Andrews
softball kid
at a softball
game at Gears Park.
The guy was punched in the back of the head. Guess what?
Yeah.
Dead before he even hit the ground.
Kimberly, in wrestling terms, it's called a suplex.
Whatever.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka suplexed him.
Big kid should have the shit beat out of him. Just so he remembers that he shouldn't ever pick on someone that's a size smaller than him. He needs to have his little ass beat. And his parents clearly aren't doing it. My first question is, are his parents in the Spencerport School District? Or is this urban suburban? Got to ask the question. Got to ask the question. So there you go.
Well, if it is, then that's sad, because the urban suburban program has always been a fantastic program. I mean, they pick kids out of the city that deserve, and the parents of those children, hey, they want to get out of the city too, and they want their kids to succeed. So
sure,
the urban suburban school program works.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with this. One, I got to say, where are the teachers and the administrators outside as the kids are running to get on the buses? That's one. Two, did the parents discipline their child? The one that did the throwing down of the little boy? And three, is the little boy okay? I mean, I guess he is. He got up and ran off. I'd run off too. Who knows what in the heck would have happened next, right? I mean, that's kind of scary. But the fact that this goes on, and we're so immune to the fact that someone is getting hurt, and we're laughing about it.
Yeah.
I
remember when my kids were that age, they got out of that school. There were teachers there. There were resource officers. They basically it was a line. You went to your bus, and there was no milling around in the parking lot. So, So what's going on here? Why is there all this milling around of students?
I don't know. But I find this concerning because, the kid's laughing, and I say soulless, but it psychologically, they're like, honestly, they're not right. Anybody who laughs at something like that and thinks it's funny, psychologically, there's something wrong with you. I mean, I don't know if whatever is going on.
Well,
but you might need to see someone. Jose Pio says the soul in the city and surrounding areas is dead for sure. He's right. Not for everyone, but you see it almost every single night in Rochester, the violence, and not only in Rochester, but you see it everywhere. You see it here in South Carolina. I mean, there's a serious, there's a serious problem.
I don't know about the laughing specifically. because some of that is a defense mechanism. When you see something that's so shocking like
I don't
that,
think so. I don't think
you
that's it.
don't know what to do. I
I
mean,
disagree with you.
really?
I think
Yeah.
it might just be like crowded bus thing that there could be laughing
Yeah, there
from
could be
people
laughing
like
from somewhere else too.
right.
Mm-mm.
A lot of background noise.
The thing that's disturbing to me is that somebody was taping it knowing it was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, you see
It was
that a lot.
premeditated.
Yeah.
That kid was going
Honestly.
to get his ass beat. It was premeditated. It was going to happen, or else there's no reason to tape it.
Here's what I say of people that video instead of help. Psychologically, you're screwed up in the head. I guess if you're okay with that, okay, whatever. You're not right. You're a psychopath. Put down the freaking phone and help someone. Stop it. You gotta stop that nonsense of, oh, I gotta get it on. No, someone's getting hurt. He just body slammed a 5th grader on the concrete.
Right.
You're psychologically impaired. There's something really wrong. And if it was my kid and they were doing that and laughing, I'd tell them, we're getting therapy because psychologically you're not right. I didn't raise you right. I did something wrong. I blame myself if that was my kid. So moving on, thank you for supporting Kimberly's Revolution. That, of course, we want you to tell everyone you know. It's on YouTube. You can subscribe. It's for free. We don't charge you to subscribe here on Kimberly's Revolution. So I would hope that you would do that. Please support our sponsors, Taylor Heating and Plumbing and Precision Lawn and Garden. And of course, if you have any home questions, whether you want to buy or sell, call us at Revere Realty. Tom, what's that number? I know it's right there up the screen.
467-1776. Just remember Paul Revere, 1776.
Yes, exactly. I want to show you. So we woke up yesterday morning and we found out that President Biden made a super secret trip to the Ukraine.
Some people think it happened at an airport hangar somewhere, that he never really went to Ukraine.
Did we just go over there to hand him money personally?
I guess. Did you see him carrying a suitcase? A briefcase full of cash?
Full of money for the Nazi that we know is Zelensky? That's what he is. That's what the Ukraine is, guys. You know it. You know it. I am not in support of financially supporting the Ukraine in their war against Russia. Let them fight their own battles. But nonetheless, President Biden, after he left Ukraine, went to Poland. And when he was getting on a flight out of Warsaw, I'm going to show you what happened again. Watch this video. There he is, getting on Air Force One. Boom! Fall down, go boom. There he is. President Biden, how many times has he fallen walking up the stairs to Air Force One?
Yeah, a few times now. I see a video, must have been doctored. I saw a video of somebody falling down the stairs out of Air Force One. I don't know what that was. It must have been a meme of something.
Yeah, it probably was a meme, but this is actual footage of President Biden leaving Warsaw, Poland. He's walking up the stairs to Air Force One. Now, I will say
he dropped a pen on the steps there. He just had to bend over and pick it up.
There are some that say that he was walking strangely right before he left Poland to get on Air Force One. So maybe he was feeling.
He walks like a. I've never seen anybody walk like that. I know he's 80 years old, but he doesn't walk like a normal person.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's got like somebody. Yeah, it's really weird. Like he was trained to do that so he doesn't fall down. But he stands up like awkwardly straight. It's really weird how the guy walks.
If you've ever seen, like my mom fell. Oh my goodness. My mom fell last week.
Oh.
Guess what she did? She tripped on one of those damn rugs that she has to have thrown all over her room. She likes these little throw rugs. And I keep saying, Mom, if you don't pick up your feet, and this is the biggest thing with elderly, they trip over things, right?
Yeah.
And I told her last time, I said, you're going to end up tripping over that rug because she shuffles. She just shuffles along. And what happened? I walked in there one day last week. Maybe it was Monday or Tuesday. I forget which. No, I think it was Tuesday because the Super Bowl had already happened and blah, blah, blah. And I walk in there and there was blood all over her sweats on her knees. And I said, what did you do? And she said, I fell. And I said, how did you fall? and she tripped over one of her damn rugs. And I said, we're getting rid of those throw rugs. I mean, one of these days you're going to fall and you're going to do something more than just bloody your knee.
So did you give her I told you so?
Like she would have me. Yeah. So anyway, so that is Joe Biden falling up the stairs. One of these days he's going to fall up the stairs and break a hip on Air Force One. So that is Biden. I want to know, the last week or two, we've heard nothing about whatever we're shooting down in the sky. Isn't it weird that whole story just went away?
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors and conspiracy theories. Something about some kid getting one of his toy rockets shot down, that they thought it was something weather balloons.
Don't believe any of that.
They don't know. Does anybody know who's shooting down what?
I don't, I find it interesting that Biden never spoke to the American public on it. He made comments, but he didn't speak to the American. We stood outside and watched that Chinese spy balloon go right over us. We stood outside and can see it from where we were. That was pretty amazing that Saturday. I remember that because Rich and I run outside. We're like, where is it? Where is it? Because someone had called us and said, hey, you can see it from where you are. So we ran outside and sure enough, there it was.
Kimberly, if you could see the balloon can see you.
That's true. I'm sure. And I will tell you this. I don't know what the Chinese balloon was all about. We know exactly what they were doing. We know they have already accessed everything that they needed to because it's real time information as it's streaming to them. As they're flying over, they're getting real time information, right? So us shooting it down, in the Atlantic isn't stopping it from gaining any kind of information. We know this, right? But the other ones, what were they? I don't know. But one, we can't think that there were the only ones out there, right? There are other beings other than us. There has to be. And there are rogue nations probably that would like to, take advantage of the United States and put us out of business. I mean, I wouldn't put it past rogue nations other than China to try to do something nefarious, right?
Why not? You got to take the big boy down. That's the main part of the left's socialistic principle is you don't want a strong America. You got to make everybody even. So you got to take us down a peg.
Not everyone is even. But I want to show you this because it washed up on a Japanese beach. What is that?
It's a dinosaur egg.
What is that? A mysterious sphere on a beach 155 miles from Tokyo. Large round object. The sphere diameter is about 4 feet. It's made of iron. They thought it might have been a bomb at first, right?
I thought it was one of Chad's testicles.
Looks like a giant baseball. It could be one of Chad's balls. I'm not sure. It's hollow.
Hollow?
And it was hollow.
I'm pretty sure I saw that at the start of a Godzilla movie. I know what happens next.
It's hollow?
It's hot. Yeah.
It's made of iron.
Was it ticking? It was not ticking. It's hollow. There, who knows what it is, where it came from? They don't know. They're still doing an investigation. But that mysterious sphere showed up on a Japanese beach this morning. A guy walking his dog said, probably, what the hell is that? And obviously called the authorities there in Japan, and they went out to take a look at it. I mean, I don't know. Weird things
rolled off the top of Stonehenge.
Weird things are happening all over, I think. Weird things are happening all over. I know, exactly. Listen, it's 81 degrees right now where I am in South Carolina.
Come on. No way.
I know. I know what you're thinking. And by the way, I think the 80 million people that voted for President Biden, they should be the ones drafted if we end up somehow in World War III. Every single person who voted for Biden should be the first ones should be drafted first for World War III. That's what I think. So whatever these flying objects are, whatever rogue nations are doing, whatever this mysterious sphere is, whatever these objects are that are flying over the United States, whatever it is, if it leads us, if Putin gets his panties in a wad because Biden decided to go to Ukraine and personally hand Zelensky his own small fortune of our taxpayer money, if that leads us to World War III, every single jackass that voted for Biden should be called up first to fight in the draft.
Yeah,
That's what
is
I
that
think.
your job at the are you like the weather girl at the country news station there? Because it
Yeah.
seemed like you said that 81 degrees, like you've been practicing it.
It's
No?
81 degrees. And it's 81 degrees
You
downtown.
do traffic and weather, Kimberly. Is that your job?
No.
No.
Anyway. So
Austin used to do traffic.
You guys are never gonna. No one's ever gonna know. You're not gonna know. No one's gonna know. I just wanted to say that.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, well, it's not really all that exciting. Who gives a rat's ass? It's 3 years later. Who cares? You know.
We all love you, though.
I know. But
this
I do
is
want
a cult. You can't leave our cult, Kimberly.
I'm in the
You're
cult.
the leader of the cult.
I am the leader. I'm the leader of my own
started
people.
this.
I have people, and I'm the leader. So here's what I want to tell you: if you think people are leaving New York in droves, they are
right.
They are. There is a semiconductor plant maker out of Albany. Did you hear this story?
Did it blow up like any chemical plants or lumber yards?
What's the temperature in Albany and Rochester today? I know they're 4 hours apart, but
Albany's probably a little warmer, maybe in the 30s today.
So there's a semiconductor maker who is relocated to South Carolina. It's called Pallidus. They were founded in 2015 out of Albany, and they have decided to pack up and move to South Carolina and take their, wait for it, $440 million business.
Wow. Is this a stock tip? Should I write this down?
To a 300,000 square foot facility here in South Carolina. They will hire 405 people. And do you know why they have moved out of the state of New York, Pallidus?
Taxes
And quality of life. They said and I quote, "We cannot do business and make money in the state of New York." You know why?
Taxes.
Because we have to pay for all the people who A, don't want to work, and B, don't want to work.
Didn't we have a podcast where the title was "Last One Out, Lock the Door"?
Last one out, lock the door. But I'm telling you, so New York, and maybe Kathy Hokedom doesn't care. Maybe Kathy Hokedom doesn't care. Maybe she doesn't care that upstate New York, central New York, Albany is losing $440 million worth of business.
Nobody cares.
I gotta figure that hurts a little bit in Albany because you don't have a whole lot of $440 million businesses operating in Western New York, do you?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares?
Nobody cares.
It's 405 new jobs for South Carolinians that care, and the jobs are paying pretty well. And they said the
Where's
reason
Chuck Schumer for that? Where's Chuck Schumer standing on the street corner and bringing in all these high-paying jobs?
He should be the first person that's drafted
Chuck Schumer?
If we ever end up in World War III. All of those people that voted for Biden.
Tell you what,
I don't know. Maybe some of them
have Chuck Schumer up there than the 21-year-olds that we have going around now.
I know, it's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's scary. Speaking of big balls, did you see this study that, and I'm not kidding.
I do not agree with this study, by the way.
Are you a Coke or a Pepsi drinker?
I am.
Are you? Do you drink a lot of it?
I do. I drink a lot of Coke. Not so much Pepsi.
I have big balls too.
I only drink Pepsi when I have to.
I'm a Coke drinker.
Because when you put whiskey or rum in Pepsi, it just doesn't taste right.
Yeah, it tastes weird.
No.
They say that drinking Coke and Pepsi leads to big balls and more testosterone.
I thought I thought the caffeine, though, this is contradicting because I thought large amounts of caffeine lowers your testosterone and makes you have smaller balls.
So they did a study on the carbonated drinks and their effect on fertility and sex organs for men. and they did the study with mice, and they found that the mice who were drinking the Coke or the Pepsi at the end of the 10-day study all had larger sex organs than the mice that were drinking whatever, water or something else. So they say that the balls get bigger if they're drinking Coke and Pepsi. Listen,
That adds up. I
I
only drink Coke.
I
You
just
got
bring
big balls,
you this.
Austin?
I bring you the stories. I can't do anything about whatever.
I don't know. At my
Don't-
age, I'm just happy to have balls, Kimberly.
Don't shoot the messenger. That's all I'm saying. Don't shoot. Did I mention that it's 79 degrees?
You said it was 81.
It just dropped. It says 79 now on my computer.
You got to take up golf or something.
No, I don't want to play golf.
No?
I want to sit around and do nothing.
So when's the pool going in?
I already have a pool.
I mean, the
Oh,
real
you mean
pool.
the in-ground pool? Yeah, very very soon, hopefully. I don't
You
know.
got the redneck pool? Is there at least a deck that you could sit on, the redneck pool next to it?
I
Or
have
do you
a
have to climb up the ladder to get in?
I have a 2-tier deck.
Oh, okay.
I have a two. I have
You
a
don't have to
2-tier deck.
climb
Yeah.
up the plastic ladder to get in it?
No. So that's everything I have. What do you have? What do you got going on? Just Tom.
Well, first of all, the quote from the episode 5. Did you see my picture?
Oh, Jose doesn't believe it. Jose doesn't believe it because he's tried to drink so much Coke and his balls are still small. Listen, you know what? One day it'll happen for you, Jose. Jose, one day it's like my little diesel dog. It took forever for his balls to drop. It will happen. Don't worry. It's
So what did you
I'm
think
sorry,
of my
Jose, I'm just
picture?
kidding.
What did you think of my picture, first of all? Was it all right?
I thought your picture was good in the article, uncoverdc.com. Yeah, I thought it was good.
All right.
I thought it was
Did you
good.
hear what he called Chad?
He called him a night. He called him.
He called him a wily lawyer. He called him John Larroquette from Night Court.
Night Court. Night Court is back, by the way.
I saw it. I've seen
Yeah.
a couple of episodes.
Yeah,
It's awful.
yeah.
It's
So-
Bernadette from Big Bang Theory is Harry Stone's daughter who plays the judge.
I like her. Yeah,
She's
he
funny.
called a wily
You thought it was
lawyer.
awful, Austin?
The new night
The new Night
court.
Court?
Oh, it's so bad. Oh, oof, big oof on that one. It is really.
So you're saying that's going to be canceled?
100%. It's so like corny and like the laugh track is so like so much like canned laughter. Oh, I did not like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of businesses, the recent work from home that happened over COVID. Apparently the millennials are like losing their minds now because Tesla, Apple, Google, and now Amazon are making their workers come back to work. And
Yeah.
they're filing all these petitions and everything else. 5,000 people signed an Amazon petition to have them change their policy about having the workers come back to work 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Amazon said they have to work in the office a minimum of 3 days a week.
Get your
When you
ass to
think
work.
about it, how many of these people over the years now, since it's been 3 years, if you work in New York, how many people moved to Florida? How many people they're like, I can't come to work. I don't even live there anymore.
I hear you.
I mean, it's crazy. This whole work from home environment, they're trying to get rid of it and they're having a problem getting rid of it because the people don't want to give it up.
I know 2 people in Rochester radio currently that refuse to go back into the radio station and do their job.
Right.
Still, I mean, when I was in radio, before I got fired 3 years ago, and it has been, it'll be 3 years this year, that we never missed a day, and COVID had just started. Really, we were just in the beginning of COVID, but we were never going to not come in and do our job, right? Because you're more connected to things when you're there. You're more connected to things and people in the office. Of course, we had no one to be connected with because there was no one else there when we were still doing radio before we got fired. But get back in the office. There's no reason for you to sit at home and do your job. Get back into the office.
Yeah, but how are you going to go back to the office when you don't live there anymore? People
I don't care.
moved away.
That's a you problem. Then I'd find another job.
So they were saying the logistical problem now of getting people back to live where they actually work, because a lot of people have just left their because they work from home, so they don't
That's a
have
them.
to be. How many people came to Rochester? This was a big thing. How many
Yeah.
people came to Rochester that lived in New York City that came to Rochester because it was cheaper to live here?
Well,
And they paid these and now they got to go back to work and they live here.
well, no,
So
but
this
no
is a
one lives.
logistical problem that's
Okay.
gonna have it. We'll have to see how it sorts itself out.
First off, no one moves to Rochester because it's cheaper to live there, unless they're moving from New York City, like
Right.
like
Well,
you said,
that's
right?
what was happening.
Yeah, and maybe that's a thing. But I'm just going to say this: if you moved and because you thought you could work remote, and now your company says you have to come back, that is a you deal. So you either find another job or you move back and go back to work. It's very easy. It's not a problem, Tom. It's a decision. You either find another job or you move back. There's no debate. Right?
They're asking Amazon to pay. They're asking Amazon to pay to move them back so that they can go back to their job.
This is something stupid little millennials came up in their head along with safe spaces, right? No,
Right.
You know what? You made a decision. You figure it out. I mean, it's not brain surgery, guys. You either want the job or you don't.
Right. In surfing
Why
through
can't people
Facebook,
solve problems
have you seen Berkeley Breen? They're talking about there's been this new rash of burglaries where these 15, 16-year-old kids, they steal a Kia. And by the way, it takes them like less than 2 minutes to steal a Kia. So they'll steal a Kia and then they'll drive it through the front of a store and then just smash and grab and just take whatever they want.
It's the Kia's problem, right? That's what they're all saying. Yeah, it's the Kia's problem. Shut up. It's not the Kia's problem. It's little criminal kids who ought to be put away for a very long time.
So, Jose, if you're still listening, this is a business idea here. All they got at these businesses now, if you look at all these, I was driving down like West Henrietta Road, and I was just looking at all the potential smash and grab locations. These kids are geniuses. How hasn't nobody thought of this before? Right? Why did it take so long to figure out all you got to do is just take your car and just steal a car and then just drive it through a window?
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
It seems genius. So now all these businesses are going to have to pay for added security to put those stupid things in front of the store.
Yeah.
So you can't drive into the store. You know how many times I hit those fucking things?
I know.
You know what I mean? Those you don't even know they're there, and then you drive up on them and you go crash, and it makes it's like now we're gonna have those things everywhere.
Exactly. All right, that is gonna do it for. I've got to listen. I gotta get outside. I gotta take the dog out.
Right.
I gotta feed my mom. There's a lot of stuff going on. It is.
What the traffic report is due in 10 minutes.
Yes, exactly. Whatever. All right. That is going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution. We thank all of you. Please tell all of your friends. We're on YouTube at Kimberly's Revolution. We will be back next week. Thank you, Just Tom. Thank you to our producer, Austin, who does a great job every single week. We will see you next week. Same bat station, same bat time.
Congratulations on your new endeavor. You will be great, as always. God bless. Be kind to others.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.